Hello, everyone. My name is Priyanka Sagu, and I'll be the host for today's APAC ContribEx meeting, APAC APJ ANZ ContribEx meeting. Welcome, everyone who's on the call or who will be watching the recording later. Few rules for the call. This meeting abides by the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which pretty much comes down to be please be nice and excellent to each other. I'll paste this meeting agenda in the chat. If you want to add yourself as an attendee, feel free to add yourself as attendees. Also, this meeting is being recorded currently, and the recording will later be posted to YouTube, Kubernetes YouTube account. So if you don't want to be recorded, either on audio, video, feel free to turn off. Thank you. With that, we don't have a lot of agenda for this call. I can use a later part of the call to maybe go through the ContribEx board, and if anyone is interested to help out, we can try finding out some issues there. But before doing any of the those stuff, I'll open the floor for introductions. If anyone wants to introduce themselves on the call, I can start with a brief introduction. Again, my name is Priyanka Sagu, and I'm one of the technical leads for SIG ContribEx. I'm also involved in other parts of the project, Kubernetes project. I'm involved in SIG release. Currently, I'm the emeritus advisor for Kubernetes 131 release and a GitHub admin, which is a sub project under SIG ContribEx. I work at SUSE as a Kubernetes integration engineer, and with that, I'll stop my introduction. Anyone wants to go ahead?
Yeah, hey everyone. My name is Sriram. This is my first time in these meetings, and I'm glad to see the trend continue with the APAC meetings after what Priyanka had done for the release team meetings. Uh, yeah, hey everyone. So I'm also mostly active in SIG release. I also do a bunch of things with ContribEx Comms, which is the sub project of ContribEx, but I've never really joined any of the ContribEx meetings, like the main ContribEx meetings before. I'm glad to be here, everyone.
Yeah, I just want to call out Sriram is helping us a lot with last weekend Kubernetes blogs, and that's a great help. Sriram, you forgot to mention that bit. And thank you
Um,
for the introduction. Yes, Nitish.
Hello everyone, my name is Nitish, and I served as Linux Foundation mentee with the Kubernetes release engineering team last year. I'm also the content lead for the Kubernetes Contributor Summit North America this year, and really excited to be the part of APAC meeting for ContribuX Cons this time. Excited to be here.
Thank you,
Hey
Nitish.
everyone. Yeah, I can go next. My name is Arvind. I'm from India, and I have been involved with the SIG ContribEx Comms project for some time now. I'm the blogging shadow there, and also the comms shadow for Kubernetes Contributor Summit. Uh, yeah, thank you for doing this call. This time zone matches, and it's a great help. So yeah, pretty excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Arvind. Before we go ahead, Sandeep, I want to ask you, is the transcript working for this call or we need to enable it?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
thank you.
working?
It's working fine.
Okay. Uh, if anyone wants to go ahead, or Sandeep, you can go ahead with your round of introduction. We have Bharat also on the call. They want to come on mic or in chat.
Yeah, I can go next. Yeah. Myself, Bharat. I work in Red Hat. I'm mainly contributing to OpenShift product. Um, Unfortunately, I've been not been able to, or somehow not made my presence in the upstream, and I would like to change that by contributing to upstream. And it's great to be here.
Thank you. Thank you, Bharat, for the introduction. Yes, I think ContribEx is a good place to get started, at least get started with knowing people around the project and with your current experience in OpenShift already. Uh, Maybe you can already start helping a lot of other areas of the project as well as ContribEx if you find anything interesting here. And thank you again for the introduction. Welcome to the call and the project. And lastly, Sandeep.
Uh, Hello everyone. I think this is my second meeting with the APAC, and really happy to have this friendly APAC time. I work. I have been with SIG ContribEx for a bit of time now, and I'm a com shadow for the KCS and also a blogging shadow. And then I also am a part of the CNCF Deaf and Hard of Hearing working group where we are where we are curating a sort of best practices that conference organizers can use to make conferences more accessible to everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandeep. Yeah, and also Sandeep is working on the new contributor orientation related content. I think you shared last meeting. Thank you everyone for the round of introduction. Um, Thank you for all the work, Arvind, you, Sandeep, and Nitish. You all are doing on the contributor summit. I've been hearing a lot of shout outs in off Slacks, like DMs as well. So thank you for doing all the great work there. With that, we can move ahead. We don't have anything listed in the agenda right now, but if anyone wants to give a quick update on what's happening in the events contributor summit, just a maybe around of what's coming ahead in the next weeks, or what's maybe like a call out for CFP or registrations. Anyone wants to take that?
Like I think I can go next if that's something. So for the contributor summit, I think the comms team we have already created the conference issue for the comms for the contributor summit, and the first unconference reminder is going to be set out for September 16th, as said by the comms team in the last contributor summit meeting. Apart from that, the content team is now looking forward to creating the schedule once we have got certain responses so far. But these are just some of the things from the content team, and I think comms team have a lot of points that they can mention about sending the reminders and things like that.
Thank you, Nidesh. Can you put a link to the unconference issue? So if
Sure.
anyone following that, thank you.
I can add more to that regarding the latest thing that is coming for the comms team, which is on 31st August. We are submitting the awards logo design and the contributor summit logo design. So that is due on 31st August. So we are currently in the midst of sending out reminders for that. The form is already out. So that is the latest thing. And I think the KubeCon NA notifications will come on 14th August. So Kathleen basically said that from next week, it's going to ramp up a bit. So yeah.
Yeah. I think I read somewhere that we are currently slow on the registration count. Most people are waiting for whether they'll be going to KubeCon, like the whole conference in general. And right after that, I think we'll see a peak in registration.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I did not capture the comms point correctly. Are we going to finalize on the logos for awards and summit by August 31? That's the plan.
No, I think that 31st August is the deadline for the form. Then I guess voting would happen in the summit staff among summit staff members to basically select the logo, and the awards team will basically do their own thing to select the awards logo. So I think 31st
Perfect.
August is just the deadline for the Google form, submit the designs. Yeah, Mario.
Perfect.
Yeah,
And if you, yes,
yeah,
hi Mario.
basically, hi, hey, yeah, basically the like we did it last time, we have the form open, people can submit designs, and once it's done, I will basically create a vote, put the vote inside of the Summit staff channel, and then all of the leads and all of the shadows can basically vote on the design, and then it's selected. I don't know for the awards design, to be honest, if this is also the same way, or if we would open this vote then to a broader audience, but some way or another there's a vote, and then we define it, and then we basically send it out to the CNCF so that they can print the t-shirt and also the awards. But usually the awards don't make it in time, because this was the case last time, because a lot of folks also probably who will receive a reward will not be in Salt Lake City. So no point for producing this early.
Yeah, that's always the case. And thank you for the update, Mario. I have I've dropped a note for adding a form link in the agenda if somebody can drop the form link for submitting logo designs. Okay. Anyone wants to add anything else on the summit ongoings in general? I think CFP is still open. Registration is still open.
Yeah, registration will be open until 5 days before the event or something like this. So there's still some time. But as it already has been said, I think we have two main issues why the registration is slow. The first one is obviously because people have not yet received yay or nay. And the second one is the situation in Salt Lake City with the local laws regarding LGBTQ plus folks, and some of the contributors are basically boycotting Salt Lake City.
Yeah. I think that was discussed early before even we started discussing about the summit event. I think in general about the KubeCon event as well, that was a concern. CNCF have added a few resources to clarify some of the doubts, but I think people still have doubts. And I mean, everyone's opinion is always matters more than any resources. So, um, okay. So that's what's happening in the contributor summit side. I will just call out one thing for KubeCon India, because we were discussing in a separate uh, channel, just among the leads, that do we want to have a KCS or a similar contributors specific event in KubeCon India. Uh, I don't know the proper details, but there is some plan for some event called Maintainers Summit in KubeCon India. But there was also, I think, a separate call out that if India community really wants a KCS event, then we can ask CNCF. Now, how to gauge that interest? I can just start by a call out in this call. If anyone from you all from the audience today in this call are interested in having a KCS India event, we can get the conversation started. Uh, I think Madhav, myself, Nabarun, we are also discussing it with Nikita. What really is Maintainer Summit, if that covers what KCS actually provides to the contributors, to the local contributors. If not, I think once we get more details on what really Maintainer Summit is, we can share that as well. But if there is ample amount of interest for KCS India, we can start that conversation with CNCF and other conference stakeholders. So if you can just drop a +1, I'll add a line for gauging interest. That would be a good start for us. Okay. Okay, I do see a lot of +1s and +100s in chat. Thank you for that. Okay. Uh, with that, I think we are good with events. Anything else anyone wants to add? If not, thank you for adding all the form links. Moving ahead with mentoring, I I don't have any updates in general, but I saw a lot of conversation from Sylvester, and I think Josh added a lot of content um, under the open items in last US meeting. I'll just call out if anyone have bandwidth to help mentoring sub project to gather all the resources from previous round of mentoring cohorts or external mentoring programs like Outreachy or GSOC or LFX. If we could help Sylvester and other people who are working in this space to gather all those content, that would be helpful. And if you're interested, I think Sylvester would be the person to reach out to, as well as Josh. Uh, that's what I know of what's going on in the mentoring space right now. Other than that, I think LFX internship uh, project submission is past the deadline now, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so that's no longer open. Well, I think there was also some discussion around creating a pool of projects in advance for programs like this. So if you have any interesting project that you would like somebody, some intern, some mentee to help you on, maybe we can start with those projects for creating a pool of ideas for these upcoming programs, because these are, I think, some of these programs happen twice a year, some of these programs are annual, one time in a year, but these keeps coming every year, so we can use the pool of ideas. Okay, anyone wants to add anything on the mentoring sub project?
I think the focus that Sylvester now started is regarding group mentoring and also like reworking the stuff that we have on Kubernetes.dev. I think if somebody wants to help, Sylvester is the best person, as Priyanka said, the best person to contact.
Perfect. I think over to you, Mario and Arvind and Sandeep, for the contributor comms, if you want to add anything there.
Yeah, I can give a quick update what we discussed last week or what was on our meeting there. So Blue Sky is now available on Buffer. There's been a discussion if we should add it or not. For this, I think Keslin is now scraping the interest if the Kubernetes community they are still active, because it's also a price tag, right? So we have $120 per year per channel. And we will try to see if we get some traction there. In general, we have a lot of SIG spotlights. Thanks everyone for this. I think we surpassed last year already. There is some discussion still going on with the usage of AI tools in the Kubernetes, especially for docs and for comms. This is an ongoing discussion, which sometimes dies a little bit off and then is reignited, and I need to reignite this again. And we are looking into writing a guidance for the Kubernetes IO Twitter account, how to use, what to post, and stuff like this, so that we basically make sure that we act according our code of conduct on those accounts, and also how to enable new folks there. And Arvind, you are the shadow for the social lead, right? If I remember correctly.
Sorry, me?
No, I forgot who is the shadow for the social, so that more people basically also get access to the Kubernetes IO block.
It's Arpit.
Arpit, sorry. I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah.
sorry.
I know it's
So that we basically have more people that can fill this account. But that's it from comms, I think.
Thank you. I have a point to add about the use of AI tools. I think CNCF as a whole have a AI use of AI tools guiding policy, and maybe don't quote me on that, but I think they allow use of AI tools to create code or other content, uh, and then submit them to the projects.
Yeah,
Are we are we planning
that's
to have something specific like that for Kubernetes?
yeah, exactly. And there's we basically we read through the CNCF usage policy, and there's the bottom line is that any project can present their own rules. And there was a blog post published that was flagged as 100% AI generated. And this was not well received by a lot of folks. And we took this blog post down. And the SIG docs and comms leads basically started then a discussion on on how we limit AI usage, or at least flag it, because the problem that we might run into if we now publish a post with AI generated tools, and in 2 or 3 years there are like legal stuff that needs that forces us to take down such posts that have AI generated content in it, because we do copyright infringement or stuff like this, then we would need to manually figure out what was AI or used created with the help of AI and what was not. And it is more towards like flagging it, reworking it, not 100% generated, so that we have like some usage policy in it. There is a draft document of this, and I think the next step is that we make a PR and open it to a broader audience so that more people can give input on this topic. But that we have at least like a base skeleton, what we want, what we try to achieve there, and then we can get input from more folks.
Is there already a link to that draft document, and is it in a ready state, like kind of for early review, or we are waiting after it's shared?
There's a big discussion currently still in between the leads
Okay.
of docs and comms regarding do we actually want to allow certain tools or not? And I think as soon as this discussion is settled, then I would basically open it to a broader audience and make it into a PR so that we can use the Kubernetes normal way of getting editing content, so that everyone can basically give input there. So I would wait until it is moved to a PR.
Perfect. Thank you, Mario, for the update. And I agree. I mean, the CNCF policy kind of says AI generated content is allowed, but 100% AI generated any content, I don't think that's what we aim for. Thank you, everyone who joined the call early and contributed and are dropping now. See you in the next one. Maybe we can quickly move to the. Do you want to add any? Do anyone wants to add anything else on the contributor comms side? I try to capture the discussion right now. Feel free to update it if I missed anything.
There is one more thing, and I think this is in between comms and mentoring. Keslin started a new idea, and already a lot of folks in this call gave some feedback into it, for a monthly new contributor orientation meeting, so that we basically have a meeting for new contributors, what they can join, and where they have like general questions answered. Where would I be a good fit, or where could I orient myself inside of the project? Where can I get a new input? And the idea would be that we want to do this in more than one time zone, so that it's not only US focused, but also Asia Pacific focused, and Europe would basically be in the middle, so you could either join in the morning or in the evening. And the idea would also be that we have a couple of folks in this running those. So what we are now doing, Kesslin created a draft for a slide deck and is happy for input. The best way was to, or what Kesslin said is, DM her if you're interested in helping or in potentially running those meetings, especially for the Asia Pacific room. It would be nice to have some from the local community.
Okay. Thank you, Mario. Yeah, I saw similar update from Kathleen in the US call, and I think she plans to maybe send out more information or maybe host the first one in
Yeah,
September, I believe. That's
I
planned.
think we are still aiming for August, which is
August.
bold, but
Okay, I'll just keep that. If we end up finalizing that, we'll inform people. Okay, and thank you for all the updates, Mario. Moving ahead, contributed documentation. I think part of the documentation work that's happening in comms also falls under this space. But if anyone have anything more to add.
yeah, we started a not role by or Kesslin started a not role based new contributor document where she's working on.
Okay, can I ask, just for my understanding, what does not role means here, as in a title role?
I think it's or how I understood it, and please anyone who joined the other call can jump in and correct me. If it's a document about generally about the project that is not so much focused on your software engineer, you're a project manager, you're XYZ, to basically get people an overview of the project, because I mean the Kubernetes project is quite large, right? And it's even I'm struggling to understand everything.
Yeah, I think i- there are. I think we can just count people who know more than most, and that those will be like we can count them on
Yeah,
this hand finger, and
yeah,
it will
exactly. It's
still
like,
not fit.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, for example, Bob. If you need anything, if you want to know anything about Kubernetes project, ask Bob.
Okay, so it makes sense now. What does not role-based contributions mean here? And I think this is going to be really helpful, uh, in line with the new contributor orientation meetings. Thank you again for doing that. Anything else we want to add on this one? Okay, thank you again. Moving to the next one, moderation and media. It's still assigned to Nigel. Is anyone
Oh,
else also working in this space?
oh yeah,
Yes, Sandeep.
Priyanka. I added a note in the chat. So Kathleen has been working on the KCS Comms Teams Handbook. Okay, so she has got a bunch of excellent feedback and she's still working to incorporate. But if anybody has any review comments, feel free to give it. So
Perfect. Thank you.
it's like as a part of the comms shadow, we are following a document and an outline that Kathleen has laid. And so this is like sort of best practices on the comms.
Okay. I I've just added a note in the agenda and also call out for review.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again, Sandeep. I captured it in the agenda. And coming back to the moderation and media, I was going to ask, is Nigel the only person who is working and active in this space, or we have more people, or we need more people? Anyone aware of that?
I know that Chris reached out a couple of, it was really a couple of weeks ago, I think beginning of May, to have more YouTube admins, and they started onboarding some folks, but Chris is is on vacation and taking some time off. So I don't have an update on what the current state is. But there was the call for help. The only problem is that, well, the only downside is we cannot take new contributors, because a lot of this moderation and admin stuff requires some trust level, right? So and some commitment to the project. But as far as I know, we had at least one or two people that wanted to get onboarded into the YouTube administration. We also still have the task open that we want to automate the publishing process for the YouTube videos, because currently they are not auto-published. But this is something that we need to do in, and I forgot the tool name. Yeah, we have some tool that basically takes it from Google Drive, uploads it to YouTube, and
Zapier?
Zapier, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
and what we are missing there was the automated publishing and adding it to the correct playlist. So this is something that we need to still figure out. I played around with it, but I haven't finished it.
Do you think this is something that somebody who is already uh, like this work, I believe, also requires somebody with existing trust
Yeah,
in the
because you
project,
need
because
to
it
have
requires,
you will
yeah,
get access to the YouTube channel. That's the problem.
yeah. I mean, that's everything. Okay.
Yeah, to the Kubernetes YouTube channel. So if you want to break stuff, you can.
Okay. I I captured that one. Just coming back to, if somebody who is, let's say, already part of the community for a while now, have already some trust building done, and if they want to help with the infra moderation work, Slack, Zoom, YouTube, who to reach out, since Chris is not available at the moment? Would it be you, Caslin?
This is a good question. Yeah, for now, ping me or Keslin, and then we can figure things out.
I think
I,
this
I
also calls out for new leadership in that space to cover
yeah
up.
yeah. I mean, Nigel can give input regarding the how, but he's also very busy, right? So
Okay. Yeah, I added in brackets in the interim, and
yeah.
we plan to have more leads in this space. Thank you again, Mario. I'll quickly cover, because we have 20 more minutes. So GitHub management, I can talk about what's currently ongoing in GitHub management space. This last weekend, so August 3 and 4, we think Friday we sent out an announcement to the wider community that we are going to migrate all of our GitHub orgs except Kubernetes and Kubernetes SIGs uh, to a one single umbrella GitHub enterprise account. I think that migration has been done. So the orgs that have moved are Kubernetes CSI, Kubernetes client, nightly, and retired, and everything is covered in that email. There are few more orgs which we use for lots of operational work when somebody wants to, let's say, transfer their repo to us to Kubernetes project, and all of those are also moved. HCD was already under an enterprise account. Uh, I think CNCF enterprise account. So when they migrated to Kubernetes project, they stayed under an enterprise account. Uh, once we are past the Kubernetes 131 release, and I think maybe during the code thaw time or after that, we have not really decided, but we plan to also uh, migrate the pending Kubernetes and Kubernetes SIGs org. When we decide to do that, I think there will be another announcement on the thread. So watch for any new updates there. Uh, other Everything else is already moved, and we are monitoring if any of our automation around these GitHub repos orgs is breaking or not. So far, nothing. But yeah, we'll keep you posted if anything we see. Anyone wants to add anything in this space? GitHub management. If not, I can take the next one as well. Elections. So steering committee elections are already announced, I think last week. I've added a link to the announcement email. If you want to check whether you are eligible or not, and what is the eligibility criteria, the eligibility criteria details you will find in the email itself. And just to cross check whether as individual you are eligible or not, please log in into this link, elections.kds.io/app/elections/steering, 3 dashes in 2024. Once you log in into that account with your GitHub username, it will show you whether you are eligible or not. Now, this is very much interesting for ContribEx specifically, because a lot of ContribEx stuff is not tracked on GitHub. And if you are not currently eligible for any reason, because very briefly, how somebody is deemed as eligible or not, it is done through devstats, and devstats captures the GitHub activity. So the criteria right now is anyone have more than 50 count of GitHub activity in the last year, last August to this August, and they are also org members. They are eligible. Anyone below that 50 count is not eligible. But that's not true for people who are working not on GitHub and in other space. So if that's the case for you, please use that elections.kds.io portal itself. There is a place there to raise exception request, and one of the election officers will review that and add you back to the voters list once approved. So just a call out, we are very early in the cycle, steering committee elections cycle this time, right now. So start doing that. We also are open for nominations. We haven't received any. That's too early to say right now. Okay.
And also, if you have not yet org membership and did some stuff, especially with what Priyanka said regarding not visible stuff, because work on not GitHub tracked topics, please also reach out to leads or sub-project leads to maybe sponsor you.
Yeah, please do that. I think GitHub org membership is easier than it looks from far away. Uh, yes, we do need sponsors, but I think if you are working already, finding sponsors would be very easy. And as leads of SIG ContribEx and the sub project leads, I think we are all very willing to sponsor anyone who wants to get an org membership and uh, pass all the eligibility criteria, not just for this voters list. I think Summit also requires org membership. So please do that if you have already not applied for org membership. Cool. Um, I think we are done with the regular agenda. I had added the open PRs, open issues for Kubernetes/community and org repos. Uh, if we did not have more items, let's say on this call, but I think we covered most of the time, and we have a lot of items in. Okay. Um, yeah. So I'll not start through the go through the Kubernetes community, I think we can maybe use another meeting for that, because then there are a lot of old issues and that would require some discussion to maybe just triage in general whether they are still relevant or not. But if these are the links of all the open PRs and issues, and if you think any of the open issues you can help with, feel free to ask any of us to provide you the required help to get started. Um, org ones, I think those are again mostly dealt by GitHub admins because they require some level of access, elevated access. But in general, if there is a feature request, for example, and you want to add any feedback, any suggestions, feel free to do that on the issues. With that, I'll stop talking and open the floor for anything else anyone wants to discuss, any open items.
The only thing is, I try to be joining both meetings now. So the ContribEx meeting for US time and also for Asia Pacific time, so that we have some kind of overlap.
Thank you for doing that. But what is the time for you right now? Is it too
Oh,
early, too late, or
no,
good time?
it's 9:30 in the morning, so it's the only thing that would basically stop me from joining this meeting is if I have customer meetings with my company. But the other ContribEx meeting is 6 p.m. US. So the US meeting is 6 p.m. my time. So it's basically early evening or early morning. So
Okay.
time is perfect. I actually prefer this time, to be honest.
Okay, I'm happy to hear that because we need more people to get these APAC meetings going, I think, in the early time. And we are also going to lose Madhav on these APAC meetings since he's also moving to US. So we'll need more people going forward to at least cover as the host of these meetings going forward. So thank you, Mario, for doing your best effort to join these meetings as well. Thank you for joining today as well. I think we are uh, we have a lot more attendance than our first meeting. Our first meeting was also brilliant. Sandeep asked a lot of questions, and I absolutely love that. I just want to keep this momentum going. Okay. Anyone wants to add anything? Talk about anything else? We have 10 more minutes. If not, I will just quickly scroll up. I had added this item here, KCS add KubeCon India. Remember a lot of you had +1, but if you can just add your vote there, that then I can use that to talk with Madhav and Nikita if at all we get a chance to host KCS India as well. Regardless, if we hear back anything about the maintainer summit in general, I think I'll try to cover that in the next call. With that, maybe final time, countdown 3, 2, 1. If anyone wants to talk about anything, or I'll stop the recording. Cool. I'll stop the recording.